Welcome to Into the Mists. My name's Mitchell. I am going to be running the Curse of Strahd for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and I thought I would do a limited episode podcast on my prep as the DM, the Dungeon Master, and kind of what I do to prep for it, because it isn't the easiest campaign to prep for, I've found out. So I've been DMing for maybe 5 or 6 years. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. Recently, I should say most of my first campaigns were all homebrew. So the thing with homebrew is good to learn if you're a first DM, because you can have total control of it, and you wrote it, so you should know it pretty well. And if it goes off the rails, it doesn't really matter. After a couple of years of doing homebrew, I switched to campaigns from books. So the first one I did really was Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So that went for about a year, and added a couple of new players like my partner. It was her first big campaign. And it went really well, and everyone had a good time. So we normally play once a month, when everyone can. It's hard to get all adults into a room. So after that one, we played, and it was all agreed upon. So I put it out to the group, what you want to play, and I gave them some options, and they wanted to play Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So Frost Maiden first, then Witchlight second. So that went for about a year, and we just finished that a couple of weeks ago. I personally wasn't that keen to play it because it's very cutesy. It's got unicorns and cupcakes and fairies and swans, and you can run the whole adventure without doing any combat at all. And I'm not that into combat. Yes, I like it to be part of it, but it's not the be-all and end-all of a campaign. But the fact that they pushed that as one of the main things, I was a bit wary of it. But my group is my partner and then another couple, so another guy and another girl. And yeah, they thought it was great, and they loved it. And then I said, well, I'm going to run Strahd, because Strahd is the complete opposite. It's very gothic, it's very dark. And a couple of years ago, I had got the Curse of Strahd box set that comes in like a coffin-shaped box. And I've looked through it many times, and I couldn't wait to play it. It comes with the Taroka cards and some handouts, some postcards, and like its own little monster creature manual, and the actual book, which is a softcover book, which is fine. It's not that big, so I thought, okay, this must be a shorter campaign. It's not really shorter. It's, what would be the word? You really need to get stuck into the nitty gritty. You need to role play a lot. So what I did first was I'd read through most of it, and I was thinking, well, this is going to be quite difficult because it's kind of open, it's kind of sandboxy, so people can go wherever they want. So that makes it hard to prep for, because normally with Witchlight or Frost Maiden, you generally know they're going to go into one or two directions, so you can prep for that. If they go outside of that, then you'll just have to read it on the spot. So with Strahd, I didn't know where to begin. So what I wrote down for my goals, the goals of the actual campaign are: find Tatiana, find Van Richten, find the objects to kill Strahd, which is a tome, an amulet, and a sword. I think there's one more. And it says Strahd's enemies and Strahd's whereabouts. So someone has to tell the characters this information as you kind of go along. So what I did was I wrote from the book the areas per level. So 1 to 3 is the village of Barovia. Level 4 is the town of Valaki and the old bone grinder. Level 5 is the village of Kresik, Wizards of Wines and Winery. Level 6 is Van Richten's Tower and Yester Hill. 7 is Argenvostholt and the Werewolf Den. 8 is Solenka Pass and the ruins of Berez. Then level 9 is Castle Ravenloft and the Amber Temple. Now I don't know about the Amber Temple. Um, Half the book is Strahd's Castle Ravenloft, the castle. It's got like 60 plus rooms, hallways. It's got multiple levels. I haven't read that yet. I've skimmed through it and had a look at it and read bits and pieces, and I know it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to try and figure out how to approach that as a DM. But that's something for the future, because I guess you're going to have to prep every room and every level just in case the players, skip levels. They go up, they go down. I don't know. Maybe there's something to stop them doing that. So I looked up some of the trigger warnings at the start. So we're playing this Saturday. So today is Tuesday. So we're playing in a couple of days. I've already prepped So I should go back. What I've started to do at the very start is Death House. So Death House is notorious for being quite difficult, but it gets the players through to 1 to 3. And I was thinking, how would a single campaign in one house go from 1 to 3? So I looked at it, I read through it. The house itself has about 3 levels, or 3 or 4 levels, and then there's a basement dungeon. And there's a lot of stuff down there to see and do, and the characters need to do certain things which will take them down there. So I'll go into that in a bit later. So this weekend I thought I'm going to do a session 0 and I'm going to do Death House. So we normally play for about 5 hours. Hopefully it will go through to them. So the start, for session 0, I did trigger warnings. So I looked it up on the internet what the trigger warnings were. Just to let everyone know, so the Curse of Strahd is dark with themes of horror and supernatural. Yep, okay, that's fine. Child murders and juvenile murders is one of the first things that came up. So I wanted to let everyone know on the night, you don't have to kill children, you don't have to kill juveniles. These are ghosts more than likely that have already passed, or a graveyard. There's drug addiction, which I believe would be probably the blood of the vampires wanting blood. Suicide, sexism, torture, body horror, alcoholism, necrophilia, and genocide. So some of those things I haven't come across yet, so they'll be interesting. So if at any point it gets too much, I'm going to ask them to let me know. If there's something that's written that we don't agree with, we can just change it or go around it. It's fine. I don't want anyone to be triggered or upset. Curse of Strahd goes from level 1 to 10. So they'll probably be leveling up nearly every session if it goes for a year. That's 12 sessions. So I said it'll take about a year if we play monthly. So we're all over 40, and another person we play with, he's been playing for a long time, and we try and call it around 10, 11 o'clock at night. So we start at 5.